I saw you up on stage today, flip camming, and I said to my friend, I was like, oh, we're going to end up on the internet, aren't we? Usually I'm behind the scenes.
Oh, look, you even got a little, like, hand tripod.
I do. I learned my lesson. I have shaky hand.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
yeah.
All right, that's enough of that. I got commissioned by CBS, actually
well, that's
sort of
cool.
forced into it. They were like, bring the flip camera in to the TCAs. And I was like, okay, yeah, because last year when I did that, they loved it. They didn't love it.
And for you, what was it about the script that drew you to the project and said, like, I want to play Larry?
Yeah, well, the name Larry.
Of course.
Has sort of always been a dream of mine. Many great sitcom Larrys.
And the voiceover, was that a draw that you're like a central?
That wasn't even part of the show.
Oh wow.
What happened was, I don't know if you heard, there was a lot of much ado to sort of get to the cast that we have now, which really took a long time. But it was well worth the wait, But yeah, we had another character that was a narrator that was like an elevator operator at the Empire State Building. And I guess they said no matter how they reworded it or sort of configured it, it always felt like having that fifth character sort of like as the narrator / operator sort of like detracted from the center of the show. So Matt was like, do you want to be the narrator? And I said, no, but I'll be the narrator.
Nice.
Narration by Larry.
And yet he still went for it somehow.
Yeah, he still went for it. I think because he'd already kind of trapped himself in a corner at that point.
Oh, gotcha.
I had all the power.
Yeah.
Which is how I like to do it.
That's smart.
Yeah, I've been throwing that into a lot of things, actually. They wrote the other day, there's a line for me where I say, no, I guarantee something. And I said, no, I guarantee.
So they're using your ad-libs.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, the thing that drew me to the script was just the sort of the juxtaposition of the two central, couples or whatever. I thought was a really interesting play. I really like the idea of sort of kind of flipping the idea of love on its head, just like saying very sort of clearly that love maybe isn't what we all think it is, and love really doesn't have to be this like sickly sweet kind of saccharine fairy tale thing that drives a lot of us real people sort of nuts. You're
That's
like,
true.
My God, shut up! If I want to hear the way your story about how you met one more time, I'm going to punch you in the face. You know what I mean? So this is like a story of how two people met that you might actually want to hear, because it's like they don't even know how the hell this is going to work out. Like how the hell do we end up together? That is assuming if we do end up together. But.
Well, right. I was going to say. I mean, obviously, in the first episode, Ben and Kate are very much we're together. We're going down this road.
Yeah.
Larry and Connie not so much, and yet there's that hint. So for you and Judy, is the chemistry something that you guys just found instantaneously? Do you feel like you have to like each other offset to play that inkling, that like subtext of we secretly like each other even though we pretend we don't?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it's sort of, it's easier if we do like each other, obviously, and we did. We hit it off really instantaneously, just like became buddies. And there's an easy sort of flirty thing that we have, because it's not really flirty. It's kind of like Connie and Larry, where they sort of like even though we like each other, we poke at each other, and I mean, we all do, but I think that's very, true to life. I think a lot of people who like each other the most,
right,
tease each other the most, and Judy and I sort of have that, so that worked really well for the characters. And I can imagine that if I was working with someone that I really didn't like, that it would be harder. It would be way harder, because even though on the surface it's all very acerbic and sort of venomous, that's not the intent behind what's going on, and that's not the intention behind the words is never as bad as the words sound. So you got to have a little bit of liking going on under there.
Yeah. I know you mentioned that there are the two couples, but personally I think there's three. I think Larry and Ben, their bromance is its own
bromance,
couple.
Yeah, I popped a broner for him once in my pants, and that was embarrassing. But.
Well, so now is that something that gets tested in the episodes that you've shot because of these girls coming into their lives?
Of course it does. It's a situational comedy, and one of the situations going on is that I think Ben and Larry's relationship gets tested, but it hasn't become a huge plot point yet.
Okay.
I think we've been hinting at a couple things where maybe Larry's a little bit like jealous, but then also Larry is kind of secretly distracted himself. He's just glad that Connie's always around because he's got somebody to tease and fuck around with. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Hasn't had too much time to sort of sit around and be like, where's my best friend? Like, I can say that to her, like, oh, I love your best friend. Yeah, we can, take out our frustrations on each other. There are flashbacks, there are flash forwards, there are flash sideways. We're like lost. We're like the lost of sitcoms.
How far back forward do you guys go? Is this like period hair, period clothes situations?
Yeah, a little bit. We go back. In the flashback episode, the one that I'm talking about specifically, I think we go back like 10 years.
Okay.
No,
That's pretty
eight
sweet.
years, I think.
And what number?
No, we go to 2002. Yeah, so like 8 years.
So within the decade. So theoretically, you guys shouldn't look that different.
We don't look that different,
okay.
but we also have flashbacks to like how Ben and I met. To how we also go back to when Kate and Connie met when they were little kids, when they were like 7 and 8 years old. So there's flashbacks to
a lot of
a
stuff.
lot of periods in our lives, and I think there's gonna be lots more because it's a really effective and popular method of sort of storytelling, I think.
Yeah, and I think it allows people to connect to the character more because they're seeing them through different
You also get that
lifestyles.
cool sound effect when you flash back.
Of course.
You get those cool whip pins.
Did you get? And you used all that stuff?
Yeah. Oh yes, all the accoutrement to time travel.
Nice.
Yeah, flashbacking was implemented.
You guys could probably give Terra Nova a run for their money in terms of.
Probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.